All right, good morning, everybody, from Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin. This is the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF String. Practice just finishing up. We'll be underway momentarily.
All right, bowlers, that's supposed to be finishing up. Looks like we're good on most of the 10 on. Thank you. First of all, thank you for hosting here at Foxx View Lanes. Here, second year in a row with me. Really appreciate their support. Having tournaments, great tournaments at that for you guys. All right, looks like. All right, bowlers. Yep. And you split that 8-9 on your first ball, and if you don't strike, please make your spares.
All right, and we are underway here in Waukesha. Let's get you your player introductions here on 1 through 4. Remember, all pairs in play available to you on the PBA YouTube channel. Ben Sobel, Brian Brown, Philip Watson on 1 and 2. On 3 and 4. PBA Major title winner Kevin McCune, along with Darren Bloomquist, Leighton Barlow. We have 3 in a pair this morning. We'll have 3 in a pair this afternoon as well. Your defending champion, EJ Tackett, will be on. A little later today. 1 p.m. our starting time for our B squad competition. And once again, all pairs in play available to you on the PBA YouTube channel. I would recommend that if you're going to follow your favorite player like Ben Sobel all the way through the round or Kevin McCune, double tab us, open up the pair feed links you have in the description of the video that you're watching. And then you can double tab us. You may notice a little bit of stutter here and there on our main feed on a couple of our pairs this morning. We got some networking issues. We had some weather go through the area. Everything going out to the YouTube feeds are 100% perfect. But you might get a little stagger here in the main feed as we sort out this networking issue. 8 games in the qualifying round this morning. And it's a pretty interesting lane pattern that we have out here today. We'll show that to you momentarily. As Watson gets the spare. This is a QubicaAMF Edge String Pin Setter Bowling Center. We had an event here last year, and there is your lane pattern, and those outside dry boards are not deceiving. There is zero oil, zero on the outside 5 boards on each side of the lane. 45 feet in length, about 31.4 mils in the pattern overall. And from talking with some of the players last night, it's kind of a anti-urethane pattern. You're not going to see a lot of urethane out there because there's so much oil in the front. If you try to play it straight, you're just going to glide. And if you try to bump it to where it's all dry, well, then urethane is going to burn out and you're not going to have enough to get back to the pocket. So I don't think you'll see anybody trying urethane today. It's a pretty interesting pattern, no doubt about it. John Dieterman, I don't recognize that name, William. Do not recognize the name at all, unfortunately. After Bloomquist throws here, we'll take you stick you over to 5 through 8. There you see Dave Barras, Alex Peglow, Michael Klingenberg on 5 and 6. Barras, no longer a member, but a former PBA champion, regional champion, along with some time on the PBA National Tour. And a couple PBA Midwest Player of the Year titles back in the early aughts for David. Over on 7 and 8, Ryan Burton, your reigning actually Rookie of the Year, along with Trevor Perov and Peyton Nabak. So I think we got ourselves a pair full of lefties on 7 and 8. Yeah, once again with this very asymmetrical pattern, it's going to be interesting to see as the day goes on. The pattern kind of keeping the players on their own side of the lane. You're not going to see the righties going over on the righties and the lefties going over on the lefties. Take you over to our next pairings here. 9 through 12. Brent Boho, David Paquet, and Jaden Kenny. Kenny Bowling is a guest. Jerry Mars, Matt Hibbard, Ryan Lopano, your bowlers on 11 and 12. Apologize for the lack of commentary early on. Just trying to work through some of these issues, give you the best possible pictures you can get. Let's take you to our final groupings as Hibbert converts. Over on 13 through 16. Whoa, how about that for Gasson? The big four on the bounce for Gasson. How about that bright and early in the morning? Good time to switch over there. That'll get your day off to a great start. Take a bad break like that and have a spare pop up on the board. Beautifully done by Matt Gasson this morning, and even Chad Moss has got a smile at that. Ethan Jones rounding out that pairing on 13 and 14. 15 and 16, Matthew Steffen, Lucas Page, and Nicholas Stearns rounding out. Wow, that Gasson guy's just a spare making machine, but he's got to stop those counts going backwards. 6 count spare, 5 count spare. Next thing you know, he's going to leave 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10 and pick that up too. Yeah, talking to the players during the practice session yesterday, they were not expecting very high scores. 80 over is going to be a pretty solid block today. So between games, you might see a bit of a stop and start on your feed. We're going to try switching some things over here pretty quickly and try to see if we can resolve these networking issues. I'm looking at everything going out on YouTube for the pair feeds, and those things are coming out just fine. We're getting a little bit of internal networking that we're going to work on. So you have you introduced everybody here on A squad. B squad, as I said, hitting the lanes 1 p.m. Central Time today. And some of the players you'll see on that squad are Quentin Bolin, our host, Stefan Hanen, Chris Watson, who's going to be our host of our RPIs for the Midwest region in October at Strike and Spare 2 in Lockport, Illinois. Once again, want to thank Bowl TV for giving me the rights to stream this event today. I am 10 on the Deck Productions. Want to thank the PBA for letting us stream on their YouTube channel. And Bowl TV is going to be home of all your RPI action. There's actually one going on the East region this weekend. We'll talk about a little bit in Game 2. So those of you that are watching us here. Oh, the messenger doesn't go for Watson. We'll talk a little bit about all the RPIs that are coming up. And we'll have your Game 2 action here on A squad. Oh, did I forget to mention that EJ Tackett are defending champions on B squad? So is Justin Knowles. With that once again coming up at 1 p.m. Central Time. So your players, your lane movement's pretty simple. Just moving a pair to the right. Players you see at 1 and 2 are going to go 3 and 4. Players you see on 15 and 16 earlier, they're going to 1 and 2. So game 2 of this PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF String rolls on. And once again, we want to thank our season-long sponsor. They are the official merchandiser of the PBA with H5G Brands. Get your PBA swag. Get that Christmas list ready early. Have them ordered up early. Get yourself some great T-shirts, sweatshirts. Hey, you can get yourself ready. If you live here in Waukesha or live here in the Midwest, you're going to need yourself that big old hat. Keep that head warm during the winter. So check it out today, h5gbrands.com. And this Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open rolls on from Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Once again, we're going to do a little maintenance between games. You may have a picture freeze for a moment, but should return within a minute or so. And we'll have you back underway with game 2. All right, underway with game 2 here on A Squad. Cernez, Stefan, Page moved down from 15 and 16 down to 1 and 2. Watson, Sobel, and Brown moved from 1 and 2 to 3 and 4. And I think we're looking pretty good now. Did a little more networking, messing around between games. Thanks everybody for your patience this morning. It's amazing sometimes. Amazing sometimes what the wonderful world of electronics can do. Let's see here. I'll show you the pattern again, Cy, in a minute. Yeah, urethane's allowed, but you're not going to see anything on this pattern. It's a 45-foot pattern with a very unique shape. I'll bring that back in a second as we are underway here with our second game. Give me a second here and I'll get you to look at that pattern. So here we go. This is what the guys are bowling on today. No ladies in the field this weekend. Of course, women are always welcome at PBA events, but we don't have any in the field this weekend. There you go. 45 foot in length. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. There is zero oil. Zero on the outside 5 boards. No oil applied. And I'll tell you what, Stefan Hanen, he was here yesterday before the practice session. He made sure that that brush that applies the oil onto the lane, that transfer brush, and everything else on his Kegel oiling machine, made sure those outside 5 boards stayed nice and dusty. I guess is the best way of putting it. And with all the oil, there's 31.4 mils in the pattern, 16 on the way out, 15 and some change on the way back. And that unique asymmetrical shape. All the bowlers, the pattern was released well in advance, so all the bowlers knew what they were getting into. Quite a few bowlers here yesterday with the 2-hour practice session. Let's see, right now Kevin McKeon, let's go next door because McKeon's actually getting ready to bowl on 5 and 6. He's the big name on this squad with this being Midwest Regional. There's quite a few players, A.J. Johnson, Matt Russo come to mind, that would have been here, but they're at Team USA training camp. So if you're looking for big names that bowl normally on the PBA Tour, McCune's your one this morning. Dave Barras used to bowl on the tour quite a few years back. When it was the exempt tour, he had a couple seasons out there. And now Barras bowling as a guest, a non-member. Barras from right here in the Waukesha area. He and Chad Moss would be a couple of players I'd keep an eye on. Matt Gasson as well. They're over on 15 and 16 right now. Some good Wisconsin players. And then you get some guys that bowl regionals and a lot of the PTQs on tour. Ben Sobel, Philip Watson, Brent Boho all come to mind. Jerry Mars, a very solid PBA regional player. Mars with a couple of regional titles at least to his credit. So James, did the PBA come up with this test pattern, or who designed? Well, it's, I'm sure Eric Pearson, who handles all the lane oiling on the PBA national tours for both the standard and the 50 tour, had something to do with this. I'm sure there were some other parties that could have been involved as well. Neil Stremmel, our Director of Rules and Equipment, I'm sure had some input as well. So it's going to be interesting to see as the final regionals in 2025 go along, what type of lane patterns may come into play, especially for the RPIs that are coming up. And as we mentioned, Bowl TV, your home for all the RPI action. In 2025, as bowlers trying to make their way to the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, December 11th to 14th, to try to take down the $15,000 top prize in the standard division. PBA 50 division is a $10,000 top prize. And there is a Bowl TV regional going on this morning at a great PBA host, Big County Lanes and Entertainment Center, Middletown, Delaware. Matt Wozni, one of the management staff there, sure he's taking his shot at advancing in the PBA East Region Bowl TV RPI qualifier presented by Bally's Dover Casino Resort. They should be underway already with A squad qualifying. So if you're watching us here, you can watch on Bowl TV as well. Double screen us, why not? Actually, no, they're not underway yet. They'll be underway in about 25 minutes. There's only a single squad. It is a 36-lane center, so they can fit 72 players on a squad. So surprisingly, it's just one squad out east. But they'll have all the action for you for the Bowl TV RPI qualifier. And obviously some of the big players in the field today, like Kevin McCune, EJ Tackett, who will be on B squad, Justin Knowles, who will be on B squad. Those players not eligible to be for the RPI, but you know, there's over 4,000 PBA members and only a couple hundred members give it a try on the national level every year. So this is your heart and soul, your meat and potatoes of the PBA Tour. Let's check in on Jerry Mars. We'll get you a first game scoring update shortly as well, once we get that across the wire from our PBA Midwest Regional Director, Toby Contreras. $47 players in the field. We're still going to have 16 players advance till tomorrow. All pinfall will carry over, as the players will come back at 9:30 a.m. Central tomorrow for 4 additional games of qualifying to pile onto their totals. Then we'll cut to our top 8. Those 8 players will bowl 3 games before we get to our top 4 for our stepladder, and that's going to be about 2 p.m. Central we're shooting for that start time. For our stepladder tomorrow. Robert, I'll tell you what, it's you get Asku Palermo in his prime, and Asku can still fire it now. Yeah, it'd be a contest between Asku and Kevin McCune for the fastest speed at a 10-pin. As you see, Chad Moss putting a double on the board. So glad you're watching us here in the main feed. Thanks especially to you bowlers that are and bowling fans that are double tabbing us, watching your favorite player as they make their way across the house, and then keeping us on here in the main feed so we can give you all the updates. So, hey, Robin Morrison. Boy, Glad you're joining us again. Glad you're getting a chance to watch a lot of PBA bowling and other bowling as well. I know you were a big fan of the PBA LBC National Championships when we were on in June and July. And looking forward to being part of that production crew. 2 weeks from today, Saturday, September 27th, as the PBA LBC National Championships Clash will be live streamed from Thunder Bowl, historic Stroble Arena, as each of our 8 division winners in the LBC National Championships will be first rolling off in a 4-game seeding qualifier at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the clash will take place at 5 p.m. We'll get you back down to McCune and Company momentarily. And that clash, that great single ball roll-off, so even a player like Andrew Anderson, who qualified from the PBA exempt division, even a player like Chris Barnes, who won the senior classic division, Stephanie Zavala, who won the women's classic division, or Weston Griffin, who won the $25,000 in the open classic division. Young 17-year-old had to take scholarship money. He's still in high school. That'll help pay for some textbooks. And can Griffin pile on another $25,000 if he made it out as the class champion? Those 4 bowlers against our 4 handicap division winners, men's handicap, women's handicap, boys handicap, and girls handicap, in that famous 1-ball roll-off. And it's neat this year with that seeding round, as these players are going to be able to pick where they are seated into that initial 8-player roll. So let's say if Andrew Anderson wins that seeding round, is he going to want to bowl first every round, or is he going to want to bowl in the number 8 spot to start with and still be last every round, knowing what he needs? Should be interesting to see how those bowlers play their way through the seeding round and where they end up. And once again, another $25,000 on top. Robert, whatever became of Askew, he's still very active in bowling. If you follow him on Instagram, you'll see he's doing a lot of coaching with youth players. I know he has a sales position with a bowling company as well. So, and just the natural life transition. Sometimes the tour isn't really working out. You got a family to take care of. You want to be home more. It's a long way, it's a long way away for those foreign players to come over to the PBA Tour. And McCune's trying to overpower the pattern. You see, he's trying to get it out to the 45-foot, that dry 5 boards, trying to get some belly and fine line it, because those dry boards, even if he overthrows it, it's still going to grab and hook. And that time it really grabbed and hooked as he leaves the 3-pin. And as we said, we weren't expecting a lot of high scores on this pattern. This is going to be a grind out. If you get out of this day with 80 over, you're definitely going to be seeing some competition tomorrow. Yeah, Askew, go and check out his Instagram feed, because he's very proud of what he's doing with his Finnish youth players, and loves when his young ladies carry out messengers. I think he was the first to start doing Messenger Monday on social media. I could be wrong, but I remember seeing those with Askew for a while. And yeah, he's I think he's in a good place in life right now. I know he's got, like I said, he's sales for a bowling company as well, so I can't remember the last time I saw him. It's been a couple of years since I saw Askew. But if they ever, let's say, make a, there's a couple of foreign players I think that they couldn't make the Hall of Fame normally, like an Askew or a Mats Carlson, but the effect they've had on international bowling. Mats Carlson was here, that was back in the 80s and stuff, but he was the first player internationally to win on tour. Obviously. Oh, how about that for McCune? He didn't like that one out of the hand, and all of a sudden, how did it hold? So, I think since these players haven't seen this type of pattern before in their careers, there's going to be a lot of pleasant and unpleasant surprises during the day today. Bulldog, I'll show it again in the beginning of Game 3. I'm gonna try to show it once a game because it's such a unique pattern today. We'll do that as we keep walking our way through here. But yeah, it's 45 feet in length, and there is 0 oil on the outside 5 boards at both sides of the lane. It's a wonderfully evil pattern. And yeah, challenging is a nice way of putting it. And there you go. You see McCune, who's playing just inside of that outside 5 board. It's going to be interesting to see some of the players' reactions once the round is done, what they thought about, you know, how the pattern played, fairness for styles. You know, that's another thing that might be coming into play too. You know, this could be a pattern where a lower rev player, let's say like a Dave Barris, can stay a little bit left early. And then there you see a ball right there by Peglow that just went insta left as he set it down immediately in that 5 board dry area on the right. That's the thing too. Wow, is a smash 7 for Bloomquist. Gives the wry smile. And there you see Bears. Yeah, he's playing right on the edge of that oil line, trying to play it straight. There's a lot of ways to attack this pattern, but you know, it's kind of keeping these bowlers on both sides of the lane. All right, so we finally got our first game scoring update. So we'll check in on Chad Moss. As Moss is over on 15 and 16. Well, he just finished at 246, so Moss has got this one figured out so far. As he opened with a 222, so he's at plus 68 after his first 2 games. That's pretty darn impressive. Watson in second. I'll check in on Watson momentarily, as Watson still has a couple frames to go here. Watson 205. Dave Barris was 203. That was your 3 games over 300, or pardon me, over 200 in game 1. Ben Sobel is 199. Nicholas Stearns 191. Kevin McCune started with 185. As we got a bit of a tangle on 2. That should be fixed momentarily. See what Watson does here. McCune is 185. Jerry Myers 184. Leighton Barlow 183. Ethan Jones at that same number. Peyton Naback 176. Matthew Steffen 170. Jaden Kenny 169. And even with that big 4 conversion for Matt Gasson in game 1, Gasson can only bring up a 164. So this pattern is going to be a little humbling for a lot of players during the day today. And Watson gets the 6 to slap the 10. So Watson with a chance to go back-to-back 200s. I think you're going to see, like I said, if you see players get off pairs with 220s and 230s, I think you're going to see them quite happy to do so. And, hey, a grind fest can be a little bit fun. Scott, what's the latest in the urethane ban? I don't know. I've seen the 77 rules and all the other stuff. Doesn't matter for the PBA. The PBA urethane rules are the same as they've been for the entire last 2 seasons. Urethane can't be more than, all bowling balls can't be more than 2 years old on the national tour. It's not that case on the regional tour, but at the regional tour level, urethanes must be 78D manufactured. So there's zero. As soon as the USBC came out with their press release about what they were doing for urethanes, PBA said nothing changes for us. We're ahead of the game. Well, at least in my opinion, they're ahead of the game. And yeah, so everything's whatever you've seen thrown on the PBA Tour, PBA regional level for urethanes the last couple of years, mainly the red 78D from Storm and the black hammer from Brands of Brunswick. You're going to keep seeing those when you see urethanes. So, and maybe other companies might start. I know some have them, or a urethane blend even. But to be honest, that's what I have my color commentators for, and I don't have one this weekend. I am 10 on the Deck Productions. I am $2 Phil Brylow. Your player movement between games 2 and 3, you're going to skip 2 pairs and land on the third. So the players you see here on 1 and 2, they're moving over to 7, 8. 3 and 4 go to 9 and 10. So skip 2, land on the third for those of you double tabbing us. We'll show you that pattern again for what's happening here with the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF String. At the start of game 3, you've got your player movement. And once again, we want to thank our year-long sponsor with H5G Brands. Man, there are some good-looking jerseys out here from H5G on these players, and they are the official merchandiser of the PBA, and they give us a lot of support here for our regional live streaming with 10 on the Deck Productions. They give a lot back to the sport of bowling here with H5G Brands. There's a big tournament for youth players coming up in November with the Junior Hall of Fame tournament that, due to some factors, they had to move centers, and H5G stepped up, and every youth player that bowls in this event is going to get a free T-shirt with this year's Junior Hall of Fame theme on it. So, and we've had players. Last year we had E.J. Tackett, Chris Barnes, Linda Barnes, Nate Purchase all bowl with these youth players in the Junior Hall of Fame. I take pride in streaming that tournament complimentary for them year after year because Shannon Lubinsky and her great staff do a great job, and H5G gives back a lot as well. And I'm sure the designers are going to make another awesome T-shirt for the youth players this year. They've made some awesome jerseys for me in the past for my $2 Phil theme, and they can do it for you. I had an idea. I couldn't get it down on paper, describe what I wanted to one of the designers there, and boy, they made it happen. And they'll have you being bold, being creative, and being original at H5G Brands. Check out everything now, and it's new lower pricing as well at h5gbrands.com. Once again, your player movement, skipping 2, landing on the third. We'll show you the pattern. And, hey, Brian Schmidt, you know you're always welcome to have a headset for a game or so in the booth if you stop by. PBA 50 Midwest regional player and occasional PBA 50 tour guy, Brian Schmidt. We'll see you later, Brian, and we'll see everybody else in Game 3.
Talk to me in 2 games. I will. Talk to me in the free.
All right, there's your man. That's your leader after 2. And when he walked down to 5 and 6, I asked Chad Moss, like, how are you finding something right now that other players aren't on this very tough pattern? And once again, let's bring that up here on screen for those of you that are joining us a little late, because it's such a unique pattern. There we go. No oil on the outside 5 boards. 0 oil. Very asymmetrical. Kind of keeping players to the middle of the lane. As Moss gets up to shoot his spare. And there you see it again. Very symmetrical, about the same amount forward and back on the loads. 16 milliliters on the way out, 15 on the way back. And, you know, those track ratios can be deceiving, because on the left side, obviously no oil on the outside 5 boards. So your 3rd to 7th board, your track to the middle is 5 to 1. Everybody goes, that's a little easier for the regional tour. Usually these shots are 3 to 1 or less. Right side's 3.3 to 1. And, yeah, it's not easy. We've seen from the scores, it is not easy today. There's no name for this pattern. It's just a PBA 45-foot test pattern. You're not going to find it in any PBA library. You went to the event page. They may have, I don't know if they have the pattern out there or not. I don't think they had the pattern. Let me go to the PBA regional page here and see what are the tournament notes. Yeah, PBA test pattern long. Oh, they do have it there if you want to take a look at it. If you go to the PBA regional page, and the very first regional listed on the page is this PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open presented by H5G Brands, powered by QubicaAMF String. Yes, we get the cover there by Sternis. So, yeah, talking to Chad Moss between games, he just goes, I've got to look right now. I've got the right piece in my hand. I got the right look. My H5G jersey gives me a free arm swing. He's got to get a plug-in for the sponsor, let's be honest. I'm getting a plug-in for the sponsor. And he goes, talk to me next game. He goes, talk to me next frame. He goes, that look could disappear very quickly depending on who he's following, what's being used ahead of him. And, you know, there's a lot of experimenting going on right now for a lot of these players. I've seen 3 players now go out of the bowling center, out to their cars, and bring new equipment in. Some of these players are going to have a very full bowling ball listing on their score recaps today. I think there's 8 spots they give, and I think some of those players may get past it. But when it's something you've never seen before, something none of us have seen bowled on before, and you know, no better place to use a testing ground than, you know, especially if you have some tour caliber players out there, like a Kevin McCune, who we have stepping up now on 11 and 12, or an EJ Tackett or Justin Knowles. We'll see. As some came off the sideboard, took the solid 8 down for McCune. And that was definitely pin-on-pin contact. That wasn't string contact. That hit too low for a string to have taken that one down. So let's check back in on Chad Moss, our leader, after 2. By how many, we'll find out shortly. As we get back down to 5 and 6. Game's at 222, 246 for Moss to start, plus 68. We only had 3 players at 200 or over after game 1. And Moss clean through his first 3. Yeah, your spare breaking game better be on top of things this weekend, as Chad Moss is our only player plus after 2. Philip Watson second, -4. McCune third, -14. Sobel fourth, -16. Parav, -17. Dave Bears, -19. Matt Gasson, -21. Gasson, nice little bounce back after his 164 start with a 215 game. And Jerry Myers currently your bowler in 8th at -33. Myers on games in 184, 183. Brian Burton, Nicholas Stearns not too far behind in a tie for 9th and 10th at -37. So 16 players will be advancing overall. To tomorrow's Cashers round. So if all things were fair, right, and just in the world, it'll be 8 off of A squad, 8 off of B squad. But we all know it's just going to be the top 16 off of both squads. And, you know, if you look at, I mean, players with a lot of regional experience, players, obviously we have 3 tour players here this weekend with McCune, EJ Tackett, Justin Knowles. Knowles and Tackett on our 1 p.m. B squad. That's 1 p.m. Central Time. Robert, I'm going to answer that question about a bowling center in North Korea, because I actually saw they had Diane Sawyer was on a 2020 a couple decades ago, and I just remember it sticking out like a thumb that they actually had one bowling center in Pyongyang. It had, like, I don't know if it was from, you know, because China makes machinery very similar for the pin setters to what AMF did with 8270s and such. And they had a 36-lane center, and they didn't have bowling shoes. They had, like, bowling sandals, I guess you could say. They were quite odd looking. They were like open toe sandal type things that they were wearing. So I don't know if that, obviously, if that bowling center is still functioning that, but I do remember seeing that in North Korea on a special when Diane Sawyer was there for 2020. Mr. Simonson, please tell your lovely girlfriend Morgan I said hi. Morgan used to bowl a lot of the youth stuff we had here in the greater Milwaukee area when she was a youth player. Made a couple of our TV shows we had here locally. And I can't wait, as we mentioned, there's 2 players here. We got one in the chat. Can't wait for the announcement on when that CW PBA season is going to be starting. 10 straight weeks of PBA bowling, 10 PBA titles. One would think. As the 4 goes, the 9 goes. 4 doesn't go for Moss. Makes it a little easier to stay clean. Oh, you're in Japan. Oh. I know there's so many players overseas. I think Sean Rash is back overseas. I know he was home for a little bit after his win in Sweden. I don't know if Rash is with you. But, hey, have a fun time in Japan. EJ was here. He said after his 3 weeks in Australia, he's still having trouble adjusting his sleep pattern back here. He said he got a nice nap in a couple of days ago with his son Trip in the middle of the day. So. Nice cover by Watson there. You just saw it on lane 9. Not too often you leave the 1, 2, 6, 7, 10. Usually the 4's there instead of the 7. And Gasson can't get the 10 to go on that conversion. 6 stayed low around the 10. Let's check in on McCune here. He's Dutch. Well, he was Dutch through the first 6 frames. McCune currently in 3rd at -14. Games at 185 and 201 to this point. McCune finished 4th here last year when this event at the time was considered a, I like to call it a research regional. It was one of the first regionals bowled on these QubicaAMF Edge string pins. There were 3 last year. There was one at Lehigh Lanes in Florida that the PBA 50 players took part in quite early in the year. I believe that was in March of 2024. That Walter Ray Williams Jr. won. And then back-to-back weeks, there were research regionals held. One in Indiana at the Tackett's Bowling Center, Easy Bowl in Bluffton, Indiana. That was won by Kyle Troop. Troop took down E.J. Tackett in that final, and then Troop got a little revenge here the next week. We were here at Foxx View Lanes, and E.J. Tackett took down Marshall Kent in the championship match. But a heck of a stepladder last year. I mean, you look at the 4 players that made the stepladder here with Josh Blanchard, Kevin McCune, E.J. Tackett, and Marshall Kent. Talk about a tour quality finals. And also in Bluffton, a couple of solid regional players. I remember one was Chandler Stevens. Unfortunately, the other player skipping my mind at the moment. But then it was also E.J. Tackett and Kyle Troop finishing the top 2 in that event. So Watson going to try to hold on to 2nd. McCune going to try to move up from 3rd at the pace they're going. We'll get back over to our leader, Moss, on 5 and 6, as Moss continuing to stay clean. Oh, the wrap 6 around the 10. Little wiggle doesn't go. Doubles are going to be huge today. 5 and 6 baggers might be unicorns at this point. I do see one. down on 1 and 2. We'll take a peek in on that momentarily. As I believe that was Brent Boho that just had a big string, and then it was ended by a missed single pin. Gasson hanging tough. Unfortunately, that double he has offset by back-to-back opens. Yeah, Boho not off to a good start. Boho in triple digits to the minus after just 2 games. Peeking on Boho when he steps up on lane 1 momentarily. I'm not sure if he'll be up or if Maas will be up first. And Maas can't get the 10 to go again. So we'll see what. Yeah, here you go. You're bowling on a pattern you haven't seen before. What kind of adjustment are you going to make? So Boho just struck. He's looking for 257. If he strikes out in the 10th frame, considering he has 297 for his first 2 games, it's not a bad turnaround. As Jane Kenny bowling as a guest. Jane just out of youth leagues. His stepfather, Chad Kloss, former PBA Tour exempt player, right around the same time Dave Barris was on that exempt tour as well. Good cover by Maas. Yeah, Maas and Barris used to be bowlers every weekend that there was a PBA Midwest Regional. They were out there traveling, trying to take down titles and such. I know Maas has 1. Barris had multiple. And I know Barris is not a member. I don't think Maas is a PBA member any longer either, but something tells me when these guys turn 50, I think their membership might pop back into play again. It's one of the benefits of a PBA member. They get early entry into tournaments and such, so players like Maas and Barris, even though they may have won PBA regional titles in the past, they still have to wait till the non-member opening happened, and they also have to pay an increased entry fee as compared to our PBA members. Well, Robert, that's keywords right there. Chad looks like the smartest on the block right now. He said, ask me after a game, ask me after a frame what I've got going. I mean, he's just finding a way. He was finding a way to keep it clean, and there you see one that got away. Chad Maas. Let's see if we can hook it across the face with a 2-4, take out the 8-10 with it. Before that, we'll get over to Boho. There's Mars. Mars trying to salvage 196. Mars currently 8th at -33, so being -37 after 3, not an overly rotten position. And a man trying to get back into that top bunch, even though he's way down right now. Brent Boho, huge 10th frame for Boho. He's at -103 right now. The game's a 144 and 153. Striking out here can get him in the minus 40 range. Right back in contention. Oh, can he web himself a strike? No. And that, wow, that's a designer one you don't see very often. The old 3-4. That's an everyday high hit. Yeah, Boho, that was a, I got a glance of it. I believe it was a 6 or a 10. I think it was a 10. And Boho may have missed. And now, boy, that's a rough way to end the comeback trail. Mars still hanging tough, though. $1.80s. If you keep throwing 180, if you can have 180 as your low game on the day today, I think that's really going to be something. So our players finishing up Game 3. They're just going to move a pair to the right for Game 4. Once again, we want to thank our PBA Regional live streaming sponsor with 10 on the Deck Productions, as we want to thank the PBA for letting us stream there, the Bold TV for giving us the rights here for the weekend, and we want to thank H5G Brands for helping bring all this regional action all year long to you for free on the PBA YouTube channel. They are the official merchandiser of the PBA. Get that Christmas list ready. And get yourself some good-looking, oh, that PBA sweatshirt. Comfortable. Especially with the weather starting to turn a little chilly. You can have that happen at h5gbrands.com. Once again, everybody moving just a pair to the right. Game 4 coming up next from the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF String. right, on to game 4. We'll stick with the man that's in the lead. Chad Moss looks to be the only player still to the positive, falls back to plus 48. We'll get you official totals when they come across the wire. And actually, let me get that information in the chat here. I'll drop that live scoring link. Let's format that a little bit better for everybody. There we go. We're going to pin that to the top for you. So you can see that live scoring link. Click on it, and after the scores are updated by our PBA Midwest Regional Manager, Toby Contreras. Found out the reason why Toby likes Wisconsin. It's the only place you can find whirlpools in the hotels. He had a video on his Facebook yesterday. Before he got here, he was relaxing at the hotel hot tub. And Chad Moss got a huge break there, as that was a 2.810. And he took the 810 out with something coming across the deck. Once again, all pairs in play available to you on the PBA YouTube channel. It's in the description underneath the video that you're watching. If you're full screen, you'll just have to escape back out, go into the description, and you'll see it. So you can follow your favorite player. Like right now, if you want to follow Kevin McCune, he's over on 13 and 14. We'll get there shortly. If you're a Ryan Burton fan, Burton down on 1 and 2 here in game 4. As we've got Lopano, Mars, Hibbard at 5 and 6. Moss, Jones, Gasson 7 and 8. And we'll bounce around to some hot hands as well. If somebody gets a opening string, we'll make our way over. And hey, once again, I want to thank our friends at Lane Talk for the live scoring. You see for the graphics on your screen. Oh, I forgot my dude wipes this morning. I just noticed when the PBA All-Star Weekend was here earlier this year, they had the dude wipes logos on the curtains that drop down in front of the pins while they're resetting. You'll see that dude wipes logo drop down on lane 7 there momentarily. There's your dude wipes. So, still remember Kyle Troop's pants with the dude wipes logo on each pocket, on the rear pockets. That's a good way to get people's attention. And Cal had an okay week, right into the honeymoon after his wedding. I know we were in Coldwater, Ohio. We live streamed that BowlerStore.com Classic here on the PBA YouTube channel. A lot of players down at Kyle's wedding, which was the same weekend. And still very exciting regional in Coldwater, load scoring as expected. And I don't want to say this is going to be a Coldwater-ish pace, but it has the possibilities as the players attack this pattern. Once again, let's bring in the pattern so you can take a look. On your screen. 45 feet in length. This is a test pattern. Man, why not? We were a test regional, a research regional for the QubicaAMF String pin setters before they were fully PBA certified last year. Why not test out some stuff here this year? And as you can see, those outside 4 boards or so, no oil on them from the foul line all the way to the end of the lane. As these players try to figure out how to knock as many pins down as possible in a pattern that nobody's really seen before. there we go. Oh, Matt, you made a big 4 game 1. Let's see if we can get a 7-10 here in game 4. It's got the fire. Yeah, a little tease, but not a lot. Let's see if we can go back here and find that pickup by Gasson. So here we go. Let's get over to back to game 1. Matt Gasson, there you see the big 4. Trying to convert the 6th frame and gets the bounce out of the pit. Full contact by the pin on the 4-7. Takes it down. There you see the big smile on the way back for Matt Gasson. Taking care of business. So unofficially, we've got Gasson in first, Moss in first, Barris second, McCune third, Sobel fourth, Lopano fifth at -23. Watson, Jones, Parav round out your top 8. Parav at -39, fully unofficial. We should have our official update on that live scoring link momentarily. And then we'll give you the full rundown. What oil they used, not sure. I'll see if I can find out, but no guarantees on that. Couple players coming up on B squad that you'll recognize easily at 1 p.m. Central Time. EJ Tackett, Justin Knowles. They'll be on the same pair too. They're going to be starting out in lanes 7 and 8. Also our host for the upcoming PBA Midwest RPI qualifiers for both the Standard Division and the PBA 50 Division. Chris Watson from Strike and Spare 2. He's on B squad. As these players trying to use this event and others throughout the season to accumulate those regional players invitational points. As for the RPI, the top 10 in each region's points list. Will automatically be qualified for the RPI December 11th to 14th at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. And then from those Midwest RPI qualifiers, coming up October 25th and 26th, at Strike and Spare 2 in Lockport, Illinois. There will be 4 standard division qualifiers advancing out of that RPI. The PBA 50 division, it will be the top 4 players from each region's points list and 3 from each RPI qualifier. In the standard division are Ben Sobel, Zach Wilkins, who would not be eligible due to his tour status, Brent Bohout, Boog Kroll once again ineligible. Wow, that's a rare miss of them all by Maas. AJ Johnson, 5th. Johnson won the regional. We brought you from Strike and Spare back on Memorial Day weekend. Johnson ineligible for the RPI. Victor Cortez, Dio Bernard, Kevin McCune. A couple players there at McCune and Bernard not eligible. National Tour status and winnings. Actually, Bernard would be eligible. He did not have a good year on tour, so Bernard would actually be eligible for the RPI if he has enough events in the Midwest. I'm not sure how many events he's bowled to get in number 7. I know he had a good finish at the Memorial Day Regional. Trey Heinrichsmeyer, 9th, but he's a non-member. He's a college player. Gene Perez, 10th. So, yeah, there's a lot of bouncing around that can be done in those regional points lists. Jerry Myers with a good finish here could vault himself up into a good position. Yeah, it's a great thing. Ever since Tom Clark and company brought the RPI back in for the 2021 season, they bowled that off in January 2022 at the South Point Bowling Plaza. And now to have it at the National Bowling Stadium, a couple of the greatest venues you could have bowling events at. Another one is Thunderbolt and Strobel Arena, and we will be there in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, the PBA LBC National Championships clash. 8 bowlers vying for that $25,000 top prize in the clash. If they can survive all rounds of that single ball elimination competition, got 3 great professional players, Andrew Anderson, Chris Barnes, and Stephanie Zavala, that advanced out of their divisions. You've got a hot young hand with Weston Griffin, who had at one point in time 28 in a row during his 6-game qualifying block at the LBC National Championships. Took down the $25,000 first place prize in the Open Classic division, looking to double it at the Clash. And we'll have, of course, Norm Duke will be there with Mike J. Laneside. They'll be bringing you all the seeding round action and that clash. The seeding round will start at 1 p.m., 4 games of bowling for all 8 players. And whoever's the top finisher in that seeding round will get to pick where they want to bowl in the clash, whether you want to bowl 1st, 5th, 8th, you'll get that pick. As it'll go all the way down the order, and then the clash will start 5 p.m. Eastern time. That great single ball elimination format gives anybody a chance to win. Tom Doherty won year 1. Gianna Brandolino year 2. Who's going to take the first LBC National Championships clash held at Strobel Arena? We'll find out 2 weeks from today. Looking forward to being part of that production crew, and that'll come to you free and live right here on the PBA YouTube channel. Boy, there's a ball for Hibbert. He's got that one out early, and it hooked, stopped, and hooked again. We're seeing a lot of that today. If that ball gets outside early, you get a little hook, little stop, little hook. Nick thinks the B squad guys will be better prepared. Maybe. I don't know what preparation gets you on this pattern. I mean, sometimes it's who you follow. Sometimes it's did the game plan you thought maybe you hadn't practiced yesterday transfer over to what's going on today? I mean, how about a bounce back there from Moss? He doesn't have that 6 out in the 7th frame. You have what would be a monster game out here today. 218 still not going to be bad. 218 definitely still going to keep him in the lead, as he was the only player to the plus after 2 games and now after 3 games. And once again, every pin matters, not just here today, but everything carries over to tomorrow, and then there's no match play this weekend. There's just simply continued qualifying. 4 games in the morning, 9:30 a.m. Central, your start time tomorrow. They'll bowl 4 games in that round, as Mars just firing the high hard one to get to 224, keeps himself in contention. And that's the interesting part today. Bowlers going for 3 6-10s, 6-10s, 10 pins with those outside 4-5 boards. So dry. There you go. You're having a fun. Well, at least it's on the fill ball for Lopano. But he was a player sitting in the top 5, and he's going to give a couple pins back. Not too bad. You know, that's one thing these players got to remember today. Usually a lot of PBA events, you shoot 190. You might be losing 20, 30 pins to the field. You might be losing 10 pins to the field today. You might be okay after a particular game. So your player movement as we reach the halfway point here at Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Skip a pair, land on the second. Players you see here on 5 and 6. Going to move to 9 and 10. Players you see on 7 and 8. Going to go over to 11 and 12. We appreciate everybody joining us this morning. We know there's always bowling out there to watch on live streaming, and we appreciate you joining us here today on the PBA YouTube channel. And we'll be with you all weekend long, every game, every frame, every pair, every round. We've got covered for you here on PBA YouTube. I want to thank our friends at H5G Brands for being our presenting sponsor this weekend, and we want to thank our friends at QubicaAMF for not just being a sponsor of this particular event, but they've had a series of events bowled this year on the QubicaAMF Edge String Pin Setters at the regional level, and they've crowned a variety of champions in those events, and there's still a couple more coming up. We'll talk about that after the break. All right, we'll start here with Mars Hibbard Lopano. Next door is going to be Jones, Moss, and Gass, and Moss, the only player to the plus. Still after 4, a couple players trying to get there, Jerry Mars being one of those. Unofficially, Mars at minus 25, Jones minus 27, and Ryan Burton minus 30 are your closest to Moss. Moss at plus 55. Welcome to the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands, powered by QubicaAMF Edge String Pin Setters. As this is the second year PBA Regional's been hosted here at Foxx View Lanes on the QubicaAMF Strings. Last year's champion EJ Tackett going to be on our 1 p.m. Central Time B squad today. So, and I just gonna say it when some people go, oh, there was a string hit, that kind of thing. Well, we're not right down on top of the pins, and you get weird hits on free fall. So, you get them on string, you get them on free fall. It's just a matter of how many times have we seen pins stand back up on free fall and such. And yeah, it is what it is. Everybody's blowing on the same thing. Let's move on. And, you know, if you talk to the players, it's a fair competition. You got to get the ball to roll through the pocket. Face up the right way, face up a little bit better. You can't get the half-hit messengers that some players get. Yeah, it's EJ Tackett's had some pretty good comments about it. I mean, if he didn't think it was a good thing, he wouldn't put it in his own bowling center. Well, Brian, thanks for watching. thanks for showing up at the center for a while. Appreciate you keeping us here, tuning us in. And there's your leader, Chad Moss. Stepping up here looking for an early double. And once again, for those of you joining us late, we'll show you that lane pattern momentarily. And oh, a little splasher there. That angle that Moss has got coming in. He hit the 3-pin pretty solid and almost left the pocket 6-pin. We've seen a few of those over time. We saw a couple of those in Coldwater, a couple of those in Minster as well. Let's get you to that pattern once again for those of you joining us late. 45 feet in length, the outside 4 boards, 0 oil from the foul line all the way down the lane, and there you see a very asymmetric pattern. I haven't seen a urethane ball come out of anybody's bag all day today. I don't think we'll see it on B squad either. And, you know, it looks like it's a pattern that's going to keep players on their side of the lane, to be honest. The lefties will stay on the left side. They won't have to get so deep, and the righties can't get that deep. Otherwise, they'll hit that, that lack of oil in the front of the pattern. So, players knew it was going to be a grind. Saw a lot of players go through a lot of equipment yesterday during the 2-hour practice session. And, yeah, there's going to be some grinding out this weekend. If you take home the title, you've definitely earned this regional award. It is a full regional title. We were talking during last game about the 3 research regionals that were held last year before these QubicaAMF Edge String pin setters were officially certified by the PBA, and Tom Clark and the PBA went back and retroactively awarded all 3 of those winners a regional title from last year. So that would have been Walter Williams Jr., Kyle Troop, and E.J. Tackett, your defending champion here at Foxx View Lanes. And looking forward to see how E.J. attacks this pattern. Looking forward to seeing how Justin Knowles attacks this pattern from the left side. They'll be on the same pair, so we'll be doing a lot of following of them, I'm sure, here in the main feed on that B squad starting at 1 p.m. Central Time. And Moss. Seems like lately his last bunch of frames has either been a strike or a 6 count. As he's hanging in there right now, plus 55 unofficially. Our Midwest Regional Manager, Toby Contreras, is getting the scores ready to put in. We'll have that 4-game scoring update for you shortly. I don't think Jerry was throwing the 78U. I'm looking across the house, and I don't see a single urethane ball on the rack. Anyway, I can go down and check. He's close enough to me. I'll check it out, what he's been throwing. Just double checked with Jerry, and that was not urethane that he had going down the lane before he just made that ball change. So it was an Origin. Yeah, see, he's got it in his hand again there. So tried that other ball for one frame, didn't like it, going back to it. So yeah, we try to get you answers whenever we can on these questions with the players. Sometimes we're close enough to them; they're nice enough to talk to us in the middle of the game. Oh, that's not good. That's a lot of 9 on that shot, Jerry. And but yeah, we're your production booth. We're your camera people. We are your we're your graphics guys. We're everything for you this weekend here. Me, myself, and I. So we got our top 3 on this these 2 pairs of lanes with Moss first, Mars second, Jones third, fully unofficial, waiting on that official update. And we do have the live scoring link tattooed to the top of your chat feed. Matt Gasson runs top-notch pro shop here inside of Foxx View Lanes. Big break there to take the 7 out. Also has another shop down at Castle Lanes in Racine, formerly owned by PBA Hall of Famer Lenny Borst Jr. Lenny still does some work in the shops, so semi-retired for Lenny. As Chad, you can see there, not happy with where he let that ball go. And that ball instantly went left. Well, nostalgic, take advantage of it today because of me checking the chat. Because once we get to the step ladder tomorrow, usually don't get a chance to do that. Usually running a camera or two from remote control, along with steering the ship and talking and giving you guys the best view out there. So, yeah, I always try to check the chat whenever I can and try to answer questions if I have knowledge. And if I don't, try to ask a player. If so, we try to get you the best answer we can. Once again, that step ladder tomorrow scheduled for 2 p.m. Central Time. As Moss 4-7 goes on that high hit, the 6-pin you see just kind of flop in the flat gutter. Pano trying to get a bit of a comeback going here. Working on a 4-bagger. Pano currently in the number 8 spot unofficially, minus 37. As he gets the 10 to go late. I think he gave up on it. I think he thought he was going to flat 10 for sure, and it didn't happen. Mars getting a workout today. Oh, especially this game. But not giving any single pin spares away. So he's trying to make that top 16 for tomorrow. Nick, how do players feel about the urethane announcement? For the PBA, doesn't matter. It's the same rule the PBA had in the past couple of years now, past couple of seasons now, with it's got to be a ball manufactured at 78D or more. So they're bowling other competitions. I'm sure they're going to have something to say about it. I'm sure maybe if they make a U.S. Open or USBC Masters, then there might be things to say. But right now, PBA competition, rules the same. Regional level, it still has to be a 78D manufactured in the last couple of years. So no concerns on that. So, John, nothing may have obviously hit a 10-pin here or there, but players might have a shot where they could have a messenger and it might get stopped by a string. It's all breaks. It's all going to even out in the end. I can't stress that enough. What might be good on one shot and a break on one shot, it's going to be a bad break on another. Happens the same way in free fall. My opinion, I'm sticking with it. So Chad Moss, still your leader. Chad Moss, your only player to the plus. Yeah, plus 55. Myers second, minus 25. Jones third, minus 27. Burton fourth, minus 30. Watson fifth, minus 31. Bears sixth, minus 36. Ben Sobel, minus 37. Lopano, minus 37. Parav, minus 38. McCune in 10th, minus 44. So you can see making your spares and not giving pins away right now is huge, and that's the mark of a great professional. You're not missing single pin spares. You're making combinations. You're making your 3 6s and such. You just got to have that different outlook this weekend. Some outlooks, when the players come in on a cheetah, a center that the outsides play nice, they know they're going to have to score a ton. They know if you're going to have to throw it great. As Myers now looks at his first blemish on the scorecard with a 210. Other weekends, you go to Coldwater, Ohio, you know you're grinding. And that's what the players know this weekend. They can't afford to give pins away on missed spares, especially missed makeables, as the shredder there for Moss. So, 78D, yeah, it does only apply for urethane. I know Neil Stremmel put out a great report about how urethanes that they were checking were softening over time for the older urethane. So then that way, if a urethane does soften after manufacture when it's 78, manufactured at that 78 on the durometer, then if it softens 3 or 4 points, it's still legal at 73. And they can check urethanes. I mean, they can check any bowling ball at any time in competition. I mean, at the national tour level, I know Neil Stremmel, he had a great video for one of his bowling breakdowns at the 2024 Illinois Open, where after competition, A.J. Johnson had to have his equipment checked, and Neil was transparent with the whole process of, hey, this is what I do. This is as many times as I hit the durometer on the bowling ball, I get my average. You know, that determines a legal or illegal bowling ball. So go back and watch it between blocks. You can find it. Yeah. Neil doing, you know, and Neil's they're constantly testing equipment. They're constantly staying ahead of technology. So I mean, the PBA's had this rule for a couple of seasons now, and you know, USBC made a rule change, and it doesn't affect what the PBA already had in place. Yeah, lower scoring events can be fun. I had fun in Coldwater. I mean, that's a long weekend. And it wasn't that high scoring in Minster the weekend before either. They gave the guys a little bit of a break in the middle of the week. when they were in Delphos, Ohio. That was a bit of a higher scoring event. But yeah, when your cut is in the negative to advance to the second day of play, and things are a little tougher, it's fun watching players, forced to keep the ball in play and give themselves makeables if an errant shot's made. Sometimes it's not that easy to do, and it seems to be that way today. No re-entries in this event. The Lucky Larson's a unique event that gives a PBA title. That's the only event that allows re-entries, but they're also only bowling 6-game qualifying blocks. So it's a unique format, and with the number of worldwide players that come in and bowl that event, and of course with the great PBA history of Martin Larsson, now they have PBA Sweden as well. It was nice to see that get started this season. Now PBA China is back, PBA Japan is back, and it's hopefully the PBA keeps growing worldwide. So, yeah, all PBA events are, you get your qualifying spot and that's it. That's why I said the Lucky Larson's such a unique event, which would have been the last event all of us would have seen when it was streamed on the Lucky Larson YouTube channel. I know that's how I watched the final. I was watching the finals live. Andrew Anderson, Nate Purchase, Sean Rash, and then unfortunately the gentleman from Finland that Sean beat in the final. I can't remember that man's name, but a great event put on by Martin Larsson and company, and great cover there by Jerry Mars. Mars once again hanging tough. He's keeping his low game in the 180s. Unfortunately, it's been like 3 of them right now for him. But he's sitting at minus 25. He's not sitting in bad position at all. And when you know the next squad's getting ready to come into the lanes 1 p.m. Central Time, including our defending champion, EJ Tackett. Hey, if you're looking at our leader right now, Chad Moss, you see that H5G jersey he has on. You want something pretty similar, get a hold of them at H5GBrands.com. They can make any necessary changes if you like that style, but you need a different logo or obviously a different name on the shirt, but you like that black and gray with the gold highlighting. They can do that for you. They can make alterations to different patterns out there. They actually have builder styles out there already where you can make changes to those jerseys, and it's a new low pricing on all the jerseys at H5GBrands.com. And if you have an idea for a jersey of your own, but you don't know how to make it happen, they have great designers there, and they can take your idea, draw it up, show it to you, and fine-tune it, and you can be bold, be creative, and be original. Thanks to our friends at H5G Brands, our season-long sponsor for 10 on the Deck Productions, regional live streaming here on the PBA YouTube channel. So your player movement between Game 5 and Game 6. Skip 2 pairs, land on the third. Players you see here on 11 and 12. Going to make the big jump down to 1 and 2. The players you see on 9 and 10 will go to 15 and 16. As they're going to have 3 games remaining in their qualifying block. B squad will take to the lanes at 1 p.m. Central Time today for their chance of making tomorrow's PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands, powered by QubicaAMF String, Cashers Round.
Went to American Place last night. Oh yeah. Just like Brunswick. Made like $100. I was up and down for $5. Not that bad. Okay, I didn't know. There's so many people now. And I appreciate this. We've had to don't go downtown. I don't. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's just a better atmosphere feel. It just, and it just takes it. Takes out of you when you go to down found a really good pizza place in called Quonset. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, it's on the Grand. Stop there. Yes. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, check that out. Very good. Yeah, they should be.
Thanks for the scores, Toby. I appreciate that.
Sorry about our.
Oh, it's not on you, man. Pretty good, pretty good.
Hey, guy, how are you?
Football training.
Well, there you see Dave Barras. As we mentioned, Barras is in 6th after the first 4 games. Get you that scoring update shortly. For your 5-game update. Your live scoring link pinned to the top. So you can check out where your favorite player here on A Squad is sitting. Alex Peglow not having a good day. Yikes. And that's where you see it gets to those outside 4 boards on this 45-foot pattern. And with nothing but dust there, it makes the move, and it'll move through the oil that's in the middle of the lane and just keep going left. It makes that initial angle change, and it all just lets it keep going. Some players are learning a lot about their games today on this pattern. And this is the day where 9's spare for a few frames. This isn't a bad thing. Get a strike or 2 in there and get some deuces, get some 210s, 220s out of there. I'm going to check here with our top 5. I'm going to see how many 200 games our top 5 has to this point. So through through 4 games, so we have 20 games total for our players. We have 9 games of those 20, 200 or better. So you can say today, 200, 210, not a bad score on this 45-foot test pattern that's been put out here at Foxx View Lanes for the weekend. Thanks everybody for joining us for the Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF String. Want to thank H5G Brands for their season-long support of the PBA, not just our 10 on the Deck Productions live streaming of regionals, but they are the official merchandiser of the PBA. Take a look between blocks today. Get your order in. It's going to be a chilly winter, I bet. Get that H5G PBA sweatshirt ordered through h5gbrands.com. We'll catch back up with Moss, our leader, momentarily. If you want to catch up with him now, he's down on lanes 1 and 2. As unofficially Burton joins Moss to the plus after 5 games. Plus single digits, but that's not a bad place to be. As I mentioned earlier today, you walk out of your plus 80 on your block, you're in really good shape for tomorrow. So Burton, I believe, had a game in the 230s in Game 5. We'll get that fully verified momentarily for you. And we're not the only regional this weekend. We're going to mention some of you may actually be double. I bet you, Larry, you might be double screening. You might have your laptop and going, and you might have Bull TV on your TV watching that qualifier from the East region, as they have the PBA East region Bull TV RPI qualifier presented by Bally's Dover Casino Resort, going from Mid-County Lanes in Middletown, Delaware right now. There's also a PBA 50 regional going on in the Central Region at Legacy Lanes in Coshocton, Ohio, for the PBA 50 Legacy Lane Central Open presented by McWayne Ductile. And here's a center I want to check out. Haven't had the chance to yet with another PBA 50 event, this time in the South Region at the Ultra Star Multitainment Center inside of the Harris Cherokee Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. PBA 50 Harris Cherokee Ultra Star Multitainment Center Open. I know they've had a couple of bowling-related conventions there as well. I know one of my bowling proprietor friends goes there annually for the little East Coast version, I guess, of a mini bowl expo. You get to see the latest and greatest goings-on in the sport. So here is with a nice tie-in to bowling as well. And once again, you get your full regional schedule. You want to check out everything that's going on the PBA Regional Tour. I'm going to drop a link in your chat right now. The PBA Regional page. And you can go there and check out everything that's going on for the PBA Regional Tour, including those upcoming RPI qualifiers in all 7 domestic PBA regions, as players continue to try to make their way to the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada, December 11th to 14th for the RPI finals. And there's a lot of money there. Standard division, $15,000 on top. PBA 50 division, $10,000 on top. Nabeck not having a great day, young player here locally. Ethan Jones was sitting in their top 3 after 4 games. Still should be hanging in 3rd unofficially after the 5th game. Moss unofficially at plus 75, Burton plus 8. Jones and Matt Hibbard. Hibbard with a huge game. He's had a nice comeback. Hibbard at minus 23. Considering Hibbert was at minus 61 after 4. That's a nice game of the 230s for Matt Hibbert. Hibbert does some bowling here in his league. He's a PBA regional member as well. So Hibbert knows how to get the ball properly through these QubicaAMF edge string pin setters. As Jones now, a couple of opens on 6 counts here in his first 5 frames. Let's see what Moss can do here to keep the stringing of strikes going. Well, double is still a string. He's got 1 double already today. Ben, I just ask you to keep it down a little bit. No, I gotta say goodbye to you. You did it to me in cold water, and yeah, I get it. You like typing. And something tells me the middle of the standings are going to be real tight again once you get past the first, couple of places. I mean, last game, difference between second place and 14th place was 36 pins. I mean, this is one of those days where all of a sudden, if you can find something, game 6, game 7, game 8, you can make a healthy move. You can make a real healthy move. We'll go take a peek at Matt Hibbert after Moss's next toss. Yeah, Chad's just finding a way to keep the ball in play. He's really hasn't done much to get himself in trouble. And part of it's the right ball in his hand, making the right guess as I think he's only made 1 ball change so far, and he's really not trying to overpower the lane. I mean, yeah, just a little more forward roll than sometimes we see out of Chad, but look at that there. Ball came a little high, still left the 4-pin, still left the makeable. You go double spare, and strike out in the 10th, you're in the 230s. There's nothing wrong with that at all, especially on a day like today. So it's going to be interesting to see how some players that we know that can really wheel the lane on B squad, obviously EJ Tackett he can wheel when needed. There's a couple players at lower, with medium rev rates. Quentin Bolin, medium rev rate guy. Ryan Zagar used to be a little more higher rev rate than he is now, but Zagar, a good local player, made the cut here last year. And it'll be interesting to see if Justin Knowles attacks the left side a little bit differently than we've seen other lefties here. I mean, Ryan Burton, Ethan Jones having some success. Let's go peeking on Hibbert. We'll give you the radio call on Jones as Hibbert's getting ready to step up. Dutch through 5. So let's make it official. We've got your standings update here. Chad Moss plus 75 is your leader. Ryan Burton second, plus 8. Hibbert third, minus 23. Same number for Jones, Jones just struck down the lane too. Yeah, you see a lot more players going to a lot more forward push off the hand more than side turn. And just piping it on the right side. Phil Watson in 5th, minus 25. Lopano 6th, minus 26. Minus 28 for Bears. McCune minus 33 in 8th. That's the number everybody's going to be looking at. 8th position as Mars got really fast on that one, right through the break point. Mars has dropped back a little bit. We'll get to that in a second. McCune 8th at minus 33. Bloomquist 9th at minus 35. Sobel 10th at minus 36. Mars minus 42. I mean, he's not in bad shape at all, considering he's only had 1 game over 200 today. and 4 games in the 180s. And he's still sitting in striking distance on the squad. Checking on Moss, going for another strike string. There you go. Yeah, it's just watching these players have the touch, change the ball roll. Great cover there by Mars. Head pin, top of the head pin, gets the 10 as it goes past. Just goes to show you can't just hit the ball up one way and expect your ball to be in play on all these different PBA patterns. The touch these players need to have to be successful. I mean, look at a prime example of it at the Lucky Larson in the finals. If you haven't watched that final match with Sean Rash and Juho Rissanen, once again, thanks Larry Huang for that information. Yeah, Juho and Sean, with the injury, did what he had to do. Kind of did he called it the U.S. Open shot from 2009. And rode that early 4-bagger, had pressure on his opponent, took it to victory. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. You know, you've got a player with tour experience like McCune, which we can peek in on Kevin as well shortly. He's the man, on the theoretical bubble right now. In 8th position on the squad. And Mars, yeah, all of a sudden, not liking what he's seeing on that pair. Kuhn's over on 7 and 8. He's going to be stepping up on lane 8 momentarily, so. No, I'm not going to argue on that one. That was an assist. But according to USBC regulations, any pinfall registered by the automatic scoring on a string pin system counts as pinfall. And now McCune can't find much of nothing. He had a gutter ball the first shot that frame. 6 out. And McCune having some big issues on 7-8. This is where we kind of figured things are going to start really getting ugly as the block went on. As that oil in the front part of the lane gets removed, pushed around, whatever happens with it. How can you change your landing area, and how can you have your ball reaction still hit well? Some players have got it figured out. Bloomquist currently minus 35, put a 3-bagger on the board for Bloomquist. Moss caves in, gets past the double, gets on a 3-bagger, and now he's looking at possible 258. Now McCune missed the head pin again. Let's check in on Ryan Burton. Burton currently in 2nd. Going to be shooting at a 2.47 here, pacing 2.0 again. You can't complain much about that when there's one other player with you in the plus. Burton, slow start day with a 159, but he's come back 204, 194, 213, 238. Can get to 212 this game. So let's see who fires first. Burton should be firing before Moss. Both bowlers' respective 10th frames. Burton gets them all to go. Over to Moss. Moss looking to get to 258 and extend that lead. 4-pin does not go this time for Moss, but still spare here. And all you can eat on the fill ball for 237. That'll get Moss into the triple digits and plus. Moss did convert. Burton will be at 2-0 with a conversion. I'll tell you what Chad Moss is doing right now, if you joined us in Coldwater a couple of weeks ago on B Squad, boy, the guys on that squad made it tough for themselves. Did not work on breaking down the pattern right early on, and it was just absolutely brutal. And there's a bowler on that squad, Brett Lloyd, that just had everything going for him, did everything right, kept the ball in play, picked up the makeable spares, that type of thing. That's what Chad Moss is reminding me of here right now. And Lloyd really lapped the field on B Squad, and then Brett Lloyd ended up taking the whole tournament after knocking off Zach Tackett in the stepladder. And yeah, Chad Moss reminding me of that right now. Just take what the lane gives you. Don't force what's not there. And don't count Matt Gasson out of this yet. Gasson at minus 87, but guess what? Gasson looking to get to 248, and that'd be right in contention for the top 8 places here. There you go for Gasson. And it's going to be an interesting last 2 games here at Foxx View Lanes for the Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF String. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Let your friends and family know that even if it's a little too late for them to join us here on A Squad, they can watch EJ Tackett, Justin Knowles, and many others take to the lanes 1 p.m. Central Time for B Squad as we make our way to the top 16 players that will be advancing with their pinfall carrying over to tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. All right, Myers and Company firing off on 1 and 2 here in Game 7. You'll see Moss, Gass, and Jones next door in 3 and 4. Moss, of course, a runaway leader at the moment. And if you missed it a little earlier, and people always say that you can't bounce things out of the pits on strings, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm going to show you a clip that begged to differ. Last year we were in Bluffton, Indiana at Easy Bowl, and Kevin McCune, who we know can fire it, he picked up a big 4. Well, during Game 1 today, there you see Matt Gasson taking the polyester across the lane, and the 6-pit, pardon me, came back out of the pit, took out the 4-7 from behind, and Matt bowls a lot of games here. He owns the Pro Shop. here inside of Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
That might not even be enough.
And I guarantee you that's probably the first Big Four he's made here, and that's why you saw the ear-to-ear grin. Get you a 6-game scoring update shortly after Topi Contreras gets done gathering the scores. Unofficially, 3 players now in the plus, as Matthew Hibbard's made a nice run the last couple of games. He's at +1. Of course, we have Chad Moss in triple digits to the plus, and tell you what, the ability to change your ball roll and make it less violent throughout the lane is something that Chad Moss has seemed to do quite well all day long. And Moss pretty confident with the ball change. He's only changed balls once today. And he's had that same ball now in his hand for the last 2 games for sure. And unless something drastically changes, who knows if he'll even go back to look at his bowling bag for the remainder of this block. Matt Gasson, we saw his big finish in Game 6, moving him up the leaderboard. Mars is just having some, he gets a little quick with it, and the amount of oil that's in the front part of this pattern just keeps it sailing straight. So unofficially, 112 over for Moss, 10 over for Burton, 1 over for Hibbard. Watson -11, Bloomquist -22, Lupano -29, Jones -33, and Gasson would be your number 8 player at -40. So as we said, a big jump last game for Matt Gasson. As the key is get to tomorrow, and then you never know, anything can happen with only 16 players in the field. But at the rate that Moss is bowling here, it could be tough for anybody to catch up to him, including our defending champion, E.J. Tackett, coming in on B squad, 1 p.m. Central. I hope everyone's been enjoying their viewing today here on the PBA YouTube channel. Thanks for all the nice comments. Thanks for a couple of texts I've gotten from people as well. And not a bad little crowd starting to fill in here. Towards the end of A squad, I'm sure the local fan base will be a little bit larger with E.J. Tackett in the building at 1 p.m. Central Time. He'll know what the big target number he needs to shoot for. Once we're done with A. Checking on Ryan Burton, as Hibbert did pick up that spare. Burton second on the squad, but 102 pins behind Moss. I think it's the last thing that's on Burton's mind right now is if he's first or second on the squad, just a matter of pile up the pins, get to tomorrow. And Nayback gets them all to go. Nayback, though, definitely not going to be seeing competition tomorrow with the rough day he's having. And Parav, mentioned him a little earlier. He's had a couple of rough games. Fell back out of the top 10. Still out of the top 10 after 6 unofficially. Hey, G-Man Mike, thanks for joining us as you could today. And, of course, you can't catch us live tomorrow for that step ladder, 2 p.m. Central Time. It'll be archived here right on the PBA YouTube page to catch at your convenience. No, we're going to go back to Moss because Moss on 4 in a row. And, well, Brent Boho has made a run up too. Unofficially, he's going to be in 10th. And Boho's got a nice string to start this game. Quality cover there by Burton. Anything going cross lane today. This unique pattern. Going to be an adventure. And for those of you joining us late, once again, here is that pattern. 45 feet in length, no oil on the outside. Few boards. $16 mils in the forward pass, 15 and some change on the back pass, and asymmetrical. And once again, give the players a little something different to battle against here this weekend. So Burton currently second, as we said, plus 10. And that has got some issues. We'll get over the Moss before Boho, as both players on the front 4. And a little light for Moss. Still having a great day. You can see he's coming back. You couldn't see it because we switched away, but he was coming back and he came over the top of that one a bit. He didn't come out as much forward roll as he'd like. He's really controlling this pattern well. Boho currently 10th at minus 55, but he's only 44 pins out of 4th. Just goes to show you how much every pin's going to count today. And Boho has had a heck of an up and down day as well. Moss dead at the spare, right on it. Gasson having another solid game. Don't count him out from advancing to tomorrow. Boho was 100 under after 2. 144, 153. Then he came back with 225, 168, 232, 223, and now a front 5 for Boho. And it just goes to show you sometimes don't get overly frustrated. Find something that works. Unfortunately, that's not happening right now for Mars. Mars had a solid first 5 games. He couldn't get out of the 180s, though. He had 1 game over 200, 4 games in the 180s, and now he's been rapidly heading backwards on that leaderboard. Ethan Jones, minus 33. Trying to hang in there to advance to tomorrow. And the overhook by Hibbert has him with his first open. We're going to get you down to Boho after Mars's washout attempt. Mars converts nicely. Boho, there you see sneaking in the right side of your screen. Gets to, well, not sleep in his own bed that he's in all the time now, but Brett from nearby Colgate, Wisconsin. As that 6-pin just sits there, nothing goes on the 10. But it's got to be nice to be at home, visit friends and family while you're here, sleep in, stay at the parents' house, save a few bucks. And just be able to catch up with friends and family for a bit. Currently living in the St. Louis area. And gas, and yeah, you saw that 6-pin just flip over. No chance of getting to the 10. Yeah, even Hibbert, what? I mean, I've seen that kid loft the left gutter, hook the whole lane, and he's just almost pushing it off his hand. Keeping it a lot more end over end roll. I'm having fun watching the versatility of these players, especially the younger ones. Hey, Linda, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. I know Ryan's got nothing to bowl in the central region this weekend, but it was nice seeing him and seeing you in Ohio last week. No, it wasn't the week he was looking forward to, especially in Coldwater. Coldwater beat him up pretty bad. Again, who doesn't Coldwater beat up pretty bad? I was joking around with a couple of fans before. I said I'd love to have a parking lot cam today between rounds. Just to see how some of these bowlers are going to handle decompressing after this stressful block. Oh, Fisher's. That's never been in that center. I've seen pictures. Looks like a spectacular bowling center, and it looks like another great event that's going to be held at Pinheads. And of course, a couple of weeks after that, it'll be the RPI qualifier at Easy Bowl. But Ryan, I would think Ryan would have his points locked up. I don't want to say the 5, 7, and 10 were late. You can see it off camera, but Chad looked right over at the booth. Were you on me? Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to say the 5, 7, and 10 were last there for Mr. Moss, but they weren't first. Boho still having a nice game. We'll check in on him momentarily, as after he left that 10-pin, he converted it and then struck. Yikes, Mars is just having a world of hurt right now. Jerry does a ton of organizing events. He just had a big Peterson squad recently. He's got Liz Johnson in his squad, a whole bunch of really good players. Does a weekly sweeper on Friday nights down in the north side of Chicago, Poplar Creek Bowl, that gets over 100 bowlers every week. It's a phenomenal sweeper series. Yeah, Jerry does a lot with the sport outside of being just on the lanes. Let's get the Boho first before Moss. Boho, 8th frame, looking to double, looking to keep the 279 dream alive. If he can go all the way to this game, he can get himself into the positive going to game 8. There you go. He's feeling it now. Yeah, Moss, you see right there, got around it. You get that extra side roll on it, gets the end of the pattern. Reads hard. I think his target and speed he was happy with. He just wasn't happy with where the fingers cleared the ball after the thumb. I remember watching Chad come out of youth leagues, and I mean, watching his rev rate was just insane back in the day, but that's when a 450 rev rate was on the high end. Nowadays, you're middle of the pack with all the two-handers out there, and of course with Father Time kicking you around, the ball speed and rev rate can come down a little bit, but still Chad can strap it up when he has to, but he doesn't have to strap it up today. Wow, pocket 6 pin on lane 5. Well, we can see those on everything. Lucas Page just goes, that wasn't the pin I expected. Yeah, it's an open frame for Moss, but with the day he's having, he'll drop the thought of that frame off pretty quick and try to get himself off the sheet here for 243. Once again, he's 100 pins clear of the field at this point. You're gonna get up to Boho. Your Boho stepping up foundation frame. And then Dave Barris, who's been kind of sliding down the leaderboard a little bit. Barris minus 62 in 11th place on here. He's going to be stepping up in the 10th frame, looking for 276. So we'll get over to Barris next. And a little light and a big trouble there for Boho. McCune trying to come back too. He'll be in the 250s, now 260s. As McCune was at minus 87, so he's going to be sneaking up on that even number. And there you see Barris, he's going to be getting ready to get up on lane 13, pardon me, lane 12. We'll go to Boho first, see if he can pick up the 210. Oh, and he hooks in front of it. He thought he was on top of that. Barriers you'll see coming into the right side of your screen in a moment. And Barriers 6 slaps to the 10. Moss looking for the foundation frame strike. Little weak on that 10 pin, but you knew he was definitely focusing on getting flatter through that ball after topping it. I wouldn't say topping it, but you know, having the axis rotation change. Moss missed that 10 pin. Give you the radio call on that one as Bears is getting ready to step up second ball of the 10th. And Barris can't get to go, and the messenger falls way short. Barris trying to out his back off a 166 game. Well, you almost got to the Century Club. 265 now with the spare. Let's get over to Boho. Well, actually, let's go over to Moss, 10th frame. 4 pin, so 212, still a good game for Barris, or for Moss, but Moss and Barris, of course, on that famous USBC Open Championships winning, used to be Red Carpet Lanes, now H5G Brands, and some of the designs that H5G comes up with for that team every year. A couple of years ago, they were all Super Nintendo characters. past, they've had sports jerseys, all kinds of stuff. As there you see Moss picks up the single pin. He'll be in the 2 teens with good count. They get the ideas, and H5G Brands and their great designers puts it on a jersey and matching slacks in them as well. If you get an idea, their designers can take your idea and make you be bold, be creative, and be original. At H5GBrands.com. Thanks again for their support of PBA Regional live streaming on 10 on the Deck Productions. Well, not just this season, but multiple seasons now they've been with us. So Boho, he'll be near that plus number, slaps it out, but can he stay there? Can Moss keep his lead at 100 pins on the squad? We'll find out shortly. As we're going to get into the last game of A-Squad qualifying for the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open presented by H5G Brands, powered by QubicaAMF String. I want to thank the support from QubicaAMF for having us here at Foxx View Lanes this weekend as well to provide you the live streaming on the PBA YouTube channel at no charge. Game 8 coming up next. Oh, Burton's been trying to stay close to the top spot, but Chad Moss has just put on an exhibition on how to attack this 45-foot test pattern today. Dave Bears looking to make a big run back into the top 8. Once again, we're taking 16 in tomorrow. So if all things were, fair, right, and just in the world, it'd be 8 and 8. But no, it's top 16 overall scores, and there's been some players that have made late charges. Dave Bears being one of them, bouncing back after a 166 game with a 265 game. Brett Boho's had an up and down day. He was 100 under after 2 games, and he's getting close to back to even. And it's going to be a pretty tight bunch around that cut number. We'll take a peek in on our leader, Chad Moss. Moss up on 9 and 10 momentarily. As Moss just looking to keep things rolling along. And once again, with all pinfall carrying over to tomorrow all the way through the weekend until we get to our step ladder at 2 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. Every pin matters, every round. Plus 124 right now unofficially for Chad Moss, as he's going to be stepping up here after an open frame in the first. There's not been a lot of open frames for Moss today, and there haven't been really a lot of strike strings, but he's been throwing a lot of doubles and 3-baggers and keeping the score sheet clean to get to that plus 124 total. Moss only 1 game under 200 today. Game 3 was 180. Other than that, that's incredible. On this pattern with the scoring pace we've seen, to have 6 or 7 games above 200. Just 3 players to the plus right now after 6. And those players that were plus 10 for Burton and plus 1 for Hibbard. So unofficially, now just 2 players plus with Moss and Barras. We'll check in on Barras momentarily. Moss plus 124, Barras plus 3. Hibbard fell back a little bit. Hibbard at minus 10, so Hibbard gave 11 back. Burton gave a few back as well to fall out of the positive, but once again, as we said, it's going to be a big bunch up around what the cut number might be. And B Squad's been watching in their hotel rooms or their Airbnbs here on the live feed. They kind of know that coming in, it's starting to look like straighter is greater. Forward roll's your friend. But of course, every bowler is different, and we'll see 22 slightly varied ways to attack this 45-foot test pattern on B Squad. Let's get over to Burton and Barras. Burton looking for the front 4. Fell off that one a hair, but got it to sit, hold, and crash. All 10 back. You see Bears with the old 2-8, and once again, this is any cross lane spare is going to be an adventure, especially with a sleeper. I don't care if it's a 2-8 or a 3-9 combination for lefties or righties. Is that going to hold? Yes, it does for Bears. And it looked like he kind of took a little extra off of it on the bottom. You saw like a bit of a double dribble coming off the thumb. Not exactly clean. Burton on the front four. Let's get back to Jones here. Is Jones looking to get front four as well? Wow. Slices through. Leaves just the four. Once again, your live scoring link pinned to the top of the chat. Check your favorite player's score all weekend long, game by game, as it's updated. Right now, 8th place unofficially, Matt Gasson at minus 36, as Moss is going to find some trouble. He's looking at his second open. In 4 frames, and yeah, you just watch his reaction. It's not as, you don't see him coming back with, oh, I missed my target, oh, I missed. It's all in what's happening at the release. If he's getting a little too grabby with it, that ball wants to go left. And now Gasson finds trouble with a 2-8-10. These bowlers know how close it's going to be. They know the cut's not going to be over, but they know it's going to be a lot of bowlers bunched up. You'd hate to have it by the end of the day just having 2, 3, 4 pins be the difference. So Burton did get his strike in the 5th. We'll go back down to Burton when he steps up in the 6th frame. As Burton fell back from 2nd to 6th. He had a game in the 180s. He's only dropping back a few pins, but once again, it's just how close the field is. So many bowlers between even and 30 under right now. Great toss there by Jones. It's Jones trying to keep himself in the upper part of the top 10. Here's Burton looking for the front 6. Burton unofficially minus 11 coming in, and well, doesn't have him locked into the plus yet, but it's pretty darn close. Yeah, that one hydroplaned a bit on Barris. Kind of scratching his head on the way back. 2-7 combination. Best of luck hooking through the 2 into the 7 on this one. So your scoring update, Moss plus 124. Bears plus 3. Rapano minus 3. Watson minus 8. Hibbard minus 10. Burton minus 11. Boho minus 12. Gasson minus 16. That's your top 8. McCune minus 20. Bloomquist minus 25. And a little bit of a back gap to Jones in 11th at minus 46. Barlow minus 56. Parab, same number, minus 56. Parab's going to give a few more back. So that minus 20 to 30 number is going to be real interesting for B Squad once they get done. As Bears with a nice conversion on that. 10. We'll get back to Burton as Moss will be stepping up momentarily. Or maybe he won't be stepping up momentarily. hold off. So let's get back to Burton stepping up on the right side of your screen, lane 4. Don't forget your big names on B squad. EJ Tackett, Justin Knowles. They'll be on the same pair as well, starting on 7 and 8 at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern for your start. And the front 7 for Burton. I don't think I've seen more in the front 6 all day. And we had a front 6 last game from Brent Boho. So the pursuit of perfection continues for Ryan Burton. So he'll be in the plus. So we'll probably have 4 players out of the squad plus, as much as some of them have been starting to make slight comebacks to that number. And Barris gets them all to go. Moss did get the strike in the 6th frame for a double. So Moss 3-bagger spare double to start his game. Checking out Watson here, we mentioned he was close to the number, and now he's got a double offset that open in the 1st and 2nd frames. Can Burton get himself the exciting 8th in a row here? How about it? Oh, just gets that 10-pin out of there on the light hit. Let's check in on Gasson. Gasson was hanging tough, fighting back over the last couple of games. Got himself up in the number 8 spot, minus 16, but some problems here in our 8th and final game of qualifying. 2 opens and no doubles to offset. He's pacing 170. Back to Barris. A little over the top with the hand. You saw the follow-through position. Just a little past where you wanted to be at release for side roll. And Moss trying to get 3 in a row. Nope. Ooh. Gasson right the ship. Yes, he can on that shot. Over to Burton. Stepping up right side of your screen. Looking for the nifty 9th in a row. To close out his A squad with authority. Looks pretty solid. Dude. Oh no! Are you kidding me? That pin went right, went left. It's almost like the ball nicked it as it was going past and stood it in place. Wow. Unbelievable bad break there for Burton. My goodness. Well, get rid of that today instead of seeing it late in the day tomorrow. Covers it up. Over to Moss. So Moss, ooh, just gets that 10-pin down. Let's go back. This is a replay of that shot in the 9th frame by Ryan Burton. And, boy, if this was for making a cut or something like that, this would be a tough one to take. But we'll see him tomorrow. But, yeah, the pin gets shoved to the left, and I think it hit the ball as the ball was clearing it. It hit the back of the bowling ball. That's just incredible. As we're back to live action now with Matt Gasson trying to make a late charge, keep himself inside that top 8. And 6 does the job in the 10. Still 213 out there. Moss will be sub 200 for the second time today out of 8 games. That's incredible. Unless Moss can get the next 3 strikes and a 9 count on the fill ball. Another quality toss by Chad Moss. So Burton finished with 268. Single pin first ball of the 10th frame and the spare. Dave Bear is going to be at 195 with a strike on the fill ball. So Bears will stay just under even. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see him tomorrow. I just can't see Chad Moss being 100 and some over and being the only player to make it off of A squad. B squad will not be running anybody over. Gasson. He's looking to stay out of the pro shop tomorrow. I'm sure he's got a lot of stuff to drill beginning of the season here at Top Notch Bowling inside of Foxx View Lanes. I'll be sending Matt the bill for that plug after we're done. If you can't see Matt inside of Foxx View Lanes, go down to the other satellite pro shop site, Castle Lanes in Racine, Wisconsin. The former pro shop of Lenny Borsch Sr. Still does some work out of both shops, whether here in Waukesha or Racine. Always good to run into Lenny when we can. So it's going to be a pretty interesting standings board after you get past what Chad Moss has done. How tight is it going to be from 2nd to 8th? And how remarkable is the bowling that Chad Moss has done this morning? Former PBA regional player, winner. Couple of USBC Open Championships titles and events under his belt as well. And even though he doesn't bowl as many regionals as he used to, when he gets into them like he did last year here, made the cut, advanced to Sunday competition. Chad Moss, always a force to be reckoned with anytime he hits the lanes. So this is going to end our coverage of A Squad. Up next will be B Squad, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central. EJ Tackett, Justin Knowles, your big name on those squads. As Moss will give a few back, only his 2nd sub-200 game today. But you will definitely see Chad tomorrow. 9:30 a.m. Central Time will be our start for Cashers Round. And once again, I want to thank our presenting sponsor, H5G Brands. And I want to thank our powered sponsor with QubicaAMF Edge String Pin Setter. And once again, the official merchandiser of the PBA is H5G Brands. Go check out h5gbrands.com between rounds. yourself some great PBA apparel. Order that hat. It's going to get cold sooner than later up here in the Midwest. Get yourself looking stylish for the winter. H5GBrands.com. We will see you back here at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central on the PBA YouTube channel. I'm $2 Phil Brylo. Hey, parents, take the kids bowling because you know they're going to have fun for life. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central.
That's why I started just dedicating it to the person. I was just trying to make
completes the 8-game for A squad. Bowlers are going to tally up their score sheets and verify them, autograph them, and get them authenticated by someone else on their pair. They'll bring them to me, and we'll have those numbers churned out as soon as we can. B squad will be coming in after a legal oil, and they're going to their best add up their 8-game total, compare it to this squad, and the top 16 will earn the ability to come back tomorrow and still pursue that championship. So thank you for coming out. Bowlers, appreciate it. I'll be back at the tournament.